Hello, I'm Jean Maguire, and today's talk is about the Glasmann family of Johann Glasmann. Hello, I'm Katharina Reinhardt, and I was born in Johann Reinhardt and Maria Singer in Bad Ems, Germany, in 1792. In 1850, I married Johann Glasmann, who was born to Marie Grau and Johann Glasmann in Bad Ems in 1790. We had 4 children. I died at 54 in 47, and Johann died at 66 in 56, a widower for 9 years. Our grandchildren, Charles Glasmann, was born to Anton Glasmann and Caroline Dorn in 1857 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He worked as a bus driver with horses and buggy for customers in his father's hotel in Wisconsin. He married Laura Smith in Denver in 1879. Laura was born to John Smith and Jane Fletcher in 1864 in Pennsylvania. Both families moved to Denver, Colorado, and they were Lutheran, and they had 1 child. Charles worked as a saloon keeper and a boilermaker and a teamster. He was a Pony Express rider with the stagecoaches from Denver to Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and they charged $5 for a package of or a piece of mail. He also guarded the strong boxes. Charles was killed in a driving accident with a buggy when he was 37 in 1894, and Laura stayed with her daughter in California as a widow and for 45 years, and then she went back to Colorado to die at 85 in 39. They're buried at the Fairmount Cemetery Mausoleum. Our daughter Henrietta Glasmann was born in 1820 in Germany. She married Ferdinand Wise in Germany in 1846. They had 10 children, and they lost a baby. And he immigrated in 1887, was naturalized, and she immigrated in 1891 to the U.S. They moved to Ohio and then to Wisconsin. Ferdinand worked as a blacksmith, tailor, and laborer. Ferdinand died in 1898, age of 76, and Henrietta died in 99 in Wisconsin, a widow for a year, and the age of 80, and they're buried in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Our son William Glasmann was born in 1821 in Bad Ems, Germany. He immigrated and was naturalized. He married Christina Kramer, and Christina was born to Nicholas Kramer and Barbara Eisenhower in Germany. She immigrated and naturalized, and they had 6 children, and then they divorced. William served in the Civil War in the battles of Chattanooga, Bull Run, and Atlanta campaign, and he worked as a blacksmith, and then he went to Georgia where he was Justice of the Peace. And William died in 1897 at the age of 75 in Georgia, and he's buried in Marietta, Georgia. Christina died in 1900 in an insane asylum in Iowa and buried in the Mental Health Institute Cemetery. Christina's husband committed her to the Mental Health Institute in Iowa, and then he divorced her. The institute was Elizabethan-style brick building with cupolas, 3 stories and wings with lots of light and ventilation with underground tunnels. It served people with mental illness, alcoholism, and other ailments. It was a grim place. The patients were operated on and experimented on. Hydrotherapy, lobotomy, and shock treatments were used, and inmates were sterilized. Patients were given calico blue dresses with stripes along with white aprons. The inmates were given work such as laundry, cooking, gardening, and cleaning. The noisy and violent inmates were in the farthest wing from the administration. I was in the closest, and she was in the closest wing since she was quiet, nonviolent. It was a very noisy place, screaming more than a few girls as young as 14. Difficult to sleep. Patients were given 1 visit a year, usually at Thanksgiving and Christmas. They were allowed gifts from the food from the family, and the family could give monetary support. And since I had a large family with a lot of children, they would have supported me. For dinner, the patients were sat at 2 long tables. Menus included coffee, oatmeal, milk, sugar, brown bread, butter, stew, or beef, or potatoes. And dinner, white bread, brown bread, tea, squash, tomatoes, tapioca pudding. And supper, we had tea, milk, sugar, white bread, butter, maybe molasses cake. And for entertainment, there was a choir, sleigh rides, and a masquerade ball. Most patients stayed there for the rest of their lives. I died there in 1900, age 67, buried in the Mental Health Institute Cemetery. So William was buried in Georgia in 1897, and he served as the Justice of the Peace. So if you'd like talk like this one to your Free Clever organization, you can contact me at g@mylegacywomen.com. And please like and share this video. Thank you.